Hey everybody! Welcome to Let's Look at Armello. This is not Let's Look at a picture of, Carmelo Anthony, current center for the New York Knicks. I gotta admit, I know almost nothing about professional basketball. This is a game that's on Steam Early Access. It was kickstarted around this time last year, or a little bit later. I think it was late spring, like May last year. And it's a digitized, original board game slash strategy game is the best way that I can describe it. It's got a little bit of a strategy element. It's hex-based in kind of a Civilization style. It has player-to-player combat that is dice-based, almost like you might consider a Risk or something like that. And it also has a card game element thrown in over top. A little bit like a Magic the Gathering, but with a little bit more of a kind of light strategy to that. I've played about maybe 3 to 4 hours of this so far. I played one game on the NLSS with Nick. It does have online multiplayer, and I played 2 games single player against the AI, so I think I'm ready to talk about it. Let's get the stuff out of the way first that is going to discount this for a lot of people. It is early access. You know, there's still some work to be done. I've had occasional bugs. Nick and I had a little bit of connectivity trouble, but once we got it sorted out just by restarting the game a couple of times, it seemed to work fine. And it's a little bit expensive for early access as well. It's 25 American dollars. That'll probably put it around, 30, 29 if you're in Canada, and you can do the conversions yourself, or just check it out on the store page in the link in the video description below if you're interested in seeing that. We're going to play a single-player game here. You're going to have to give me some time to talk about this. Once you get over the fact that there's probably, if I'm being honest, a lot of reasons not to buy the game right now, that doesn't mean there's not a lot of reasons not to watch the video, if that makes sense, because this is a cool game. It's just maybe in a little bit of an early state, and it's above being just actually cool and unique and functional online, which is a bit of a rarity. It's got some unique and original mechanics, which I think is really cool, and there's not a lot of games that come out like this, so it's always a pleasure when you get the opportunity to play something that's original. And this was a successful Kickstarter. It made something like 306,000 Australian dollars. It's nice to play a Kickstarter game that is pretty true to the original design as well. You gotta remember, 306,000 Australian dollars sounds like a ton. It's probably a decent amount of money, a decent chunk of change. That's more than American dollars. But, if you look at a game like Takedown Red Saber, that made 200,000 American dollars on Kickstarter, and it turned out to be kind of shitty. Not that I need to get into that. Anyway, when the game starts, you can pick between one of 4 characters. The important thing with these characters, at least from the purposes of my, relative ignorance of the deeper game mechanics, is these stats down here at the bottom. So there's 4 different stats that are relevant: fight, health, wits, and spirit. Fight basically determines how many dice you get when you get into battle. The bigger your fight, the more dice you get, the more likely you are to do more damage to your enemy than your enemy does to you, and to defend yourself as well. Health is your HP. That'll go down for a variety of reasons. Wits determines how many cards you can hold in your hand. And then Spirit dictates the range of your spells. So some of your spells will be things that you can cast on other players. I guess the larger your Spirit stat is, the further away you can cast them. But admittedly, I haven't really interacted that much with my Spirit stat thus far. They also get, differential amounts of gold or, other things to start with as well. Different starting hand sizes. They also get a clan bonus that gives them an affinity with either day or night. I'll talk about this when we get started. But anyway, let's just play as, let's play as Thane. He's like the best combat unit. Sword cards burned in battle cannot be blocked by opponent's defenses. Basically makes him super powerful offensively. A little bit weaker in some other departments, but that's okay. We're gonna launch this up here. You also get to take a ring and basically a perk with you, but right now we can only take 1 ring, which gives us +1 action point at night. The game is action points, almost like a Civilization style. You can get more the more you play as specific characters. There's actually a lot of gated content here, and dare I say, I hate to be cynical about it, but I'm glad that this is gated by actually playing the game, as opposed to just, if this was, you could easily think of some examples of games where they'd be like, hey, you can get new rings if you just buy, like $10 DLC. We'll throw in these 3 rings on all the 4 characters. That's a pretty good deal. It's like 80 cents a ring. You just gotta play the game to unlock them. You can also choose basically a perk. Basically gain 1 stat, or, because I have won some games with the prestige path, I can start the game with 2 prestige, which is unfair, I think. It seems a little OP, but that's actually what I'm going to do in order to demonstrate one of the cooler mechanics of the game, which is basically that if you're the prestige leader, prestige is basically just points. If you're the prestige leader, you get to dictate the rules of the game. Every turn that passes, or every day that passes in the game, you can choose another rule to add to the game that can really help you kind of snowball out of control. You're gonna need to give me a minute here to discuss the mechanics of the game. It's the kind of thing that is... the bear took the prestige gain as well. I wouldn't necessarily say that the game is needlessly complex, but it is... There's a lot of systems going on at the same time pay attention for, like, literally the next 3 minutes, and all the stuff that doesn't matter, or doesn't matter, like, as deeply, will just fall into place. You know, you don't need to know absolutely everything about the minute mechanics. Just the basic stuff will help you figure this out. Alright, we're playing as Thane. We're basically, you know, we're a player character here. And we have 3 action points, as you can see. We can look around our map. We could zoom out a little bit more if we want to. It's hex-based. Every turn, every hex that we move costs us 1 action point, except for mountains, which are these ones over here. These cost us 2. There's a couple of different things that we might want to accomplish in the game. You can see our other stats down here as well, and this is like gold, magic, prestige, rot. I'll talk about that as we get further on. Your goal, there's basically 4 different kinds of goals that you can go through to win the game. In the center of the map is our king here. He is technically our liege right now, but he's been afflicted by something called the rot. The rot is just some kind of plague working its way through our environment. Every day that goes by, there's 2 turns per day, 1 morning turn, 1 night turn. Every day that goes by, his rot grows, but his health goes down 1. One of the ways that you can win the game is just having the highest prestige when the king dies. Basically, the king dies, you're the most prestigious person left, you become the king. So 9 turns into the game, whoever has the most prestige will win. So there is like a time limit basically on the game. Games typically end up, in my experience, depending on how fast you play, being between 30 minutes and an hour. Which I think is relatively reasonable for a game like this. In both sides. It's not that short, but it's not that long either. It doesn't mean that it's an investment. You know, you want to make sure that you're going to be sitting around for it, but it's not like it's going to take you 5 hours to finish a campaign or something like that. There's other ways to win here, if you'll allow me to look at the game guide. One of the ways that you can win is by getting 4 spirit stones. You get those by questing, and then you take it to the king in the center, and you cure him of the rot, and you win. Another way, if I go to winning the game here, there we go. Another way is the Kingslayer victory. Basically, you go into the palace, kill the king, and then you become the king. But he's very difficult because, as you can see... As you can see here, he has 8 attack. We only have 4 HP. We have 5 fights, so he's probably, unless we get some lucky dice rolls, gonna take us out. The other way to win is a little bit more complex, and I've never actually done it or seen it even attempted by either myself, Nick, or the AI. It's a rot victory. So you have this rot stat down here in the bottom right. Where is winning the game? There we go. Enter the palace, face the king in battle with a rot higher than his own, kill him, and then you survive. And then that gives you a rot victory. I don't know necessarily how that's different from the Kingslayer victory, but this might seem needlessly complex, but what's kind of cool about the fact that there's 4 different ways to win the game is that even if you're crushing it in prestige, you still need to watch other people. Maybe someone else has 3 spirit stones and they're only 1 away from being able to go see the king and cure his rot and win the game from under your nose. But anyway, let's just do a turn. We have a couple of different things that we can do. We could go over here to this settlement. If you walk on a settlement, you automatically capture it. That gives you 1 gold every morning. Gold is used to spend on things like cards, but we'll talk about cards when we get into battle, maybe, because it's getting a little bit, you know, I've already gone cross-eyed from explanation here. Another thing that we might want to do is go to this dungeon. Dungeons give you the chance to get rewards, either magic, gold, those are used for fuel for spells, basically, or a spirit stone, and if you get enough spirit stones, you can go into the middle and cure the king. Or we can go to this quest, and I'm going to go to this quest. Every unit has their own individual quests. Other people can't see where my quests are, so we can kind of, you know, they won't know, basically, that that's what we're doing. We're going to ignore this flag as well right here, by the way, which is a peril. So there is almost some YOG or FTL-style questing stuff that goes on in the game as well, which kind of fits in interlocking with the other things. That's the only tutorialization I'm going to give you until we get into combat, which will happen probably a little bit later. It's not very much a combat-focused game, but there's a lot to talk about when it comes to combat. The forest, tall and dark, envelops you. Your senses alert. The intermittent scuttering behind you does not go unnoticed. You wait for just the right moment and make a run for it. Leap for a nearby branch, which will test our wits, which is 3, not that good, or spin around, weapon at the ready, test fight. Our fight stat is our highest, so we're going to test fight. And we succeeded, so we got +1 prestige, +3 gold. The gold looks kind of like macarons, but that's okay. And that's basically going to be our turn. And then our next quest comes over here. So basically quests are just easy ways to get a decent amount of prestige, a decent amount of gold, and, you know, maybe some other stuff going on as well. But we're going to end our turn and let the AI go. So, again, one of the things that is a little bit, I wouldn't say problematic, but a little bit of a barrier to entry for a game like this. So she's questing and going into the dungeon, so she's probably going to gain some prestige here, as she did, and also an extra gold. And maybe a spirit stone? No, she got nothing. You can get nothing when you go to the dungeons as well, so there is some risk associated with it. It's a little bit complex. The first time I played the game, it probably took me about half of the game, like half of one match of it, before I figured out what the hell was going on. But once I did, it actually is not as complicated as it looks. There's just a lot of interlocking mechanics that originally seem a little bit complex, but once you actually figure out what's going on and how to kind of read the language of the game, it's very quick. You know, in the multiplayer, the turns have a timer of about a minute associated with them, because you only have 3 actions, so it's pretty easy to get it done. At night, things change a little bit. There's these NPCs called Banes, which are, I'll talk about the Kingsguard later, which are basically just good Banes. If you antagonize the King's Guard will come after you, basically. They react dynamically to the way that you affect the game. And if you kill a Kingsguard, you lose prestige. But yeah, there's these Banes that have shown up. I'm trying to find one. Yeah, there's one right there. They, you know, relatively tanky. They got a high rot. If you die to them, you get a little bit of rot, which is how you would sustain a rot victory. But anyway. Also, if you're in the trees at night, you can't be seen by other players or yourself, so we're right here. I think I'm going to go to this dungeon, and we're going to see what we're going to get here. Hopefully some Spirit Stones. I would love to get a Spirit Stone victory. You explored a dungeon and found... Oh, I teleported. Okay. I don't love this, but if I wanted to... I could actually get into combat with Sana here. Now, she has 2 fight, or he has 2 fight, 5 HP, so it's going to be very difficult to get a kill. 1 Spirit Stone. If I were to kill them, I would get their settlement, which would give me 1 gold in the morning, and also I would get 1 prestige, but if I died, I would lose 1 prestige. I just want to take one more second to say, these are swamps right here. They hurt you for 1 when you pass through them. These are stone circles. They basically heal you for 1 when you move through them. So this is like HP up. This is HP down. I think we are gonna fight. One thing we can do is actually look at our cards and say if there's anything useful we can use to help us out here. Play to hero. Gain scout and peril vision until the end of your next turn. Costs 3 gold. We can play this card on a mountain. It gives you -2 health to whoever's on the mountain and forces the target off of the mountain, which would allow us to move on to it. Or, target loses 2 gold. Play to forest or settlement. But... let's go fight, and I'll talk about this. Basically, our objective in a fight is to kill the other unit, and we do so by hitting them enough that their HP goes down to 0. They're going to be able to roll shields. Oh my god, she got so many freaking shields right off the bat. But I'm going to burn some cards here. Basically, this is going to have to go very quickly here, but by burning these cards, I can guarantee myself some extra attacks here. I don't think we even stand a chance in hell of getting a kill here. Yeah, in fact, I did... no damage and got hit for 1. She just has too many shields for me to be able to do anything with, so that was bad. Basically, you can use cards as spells, or you can burn them and get the guaranteed symbol that's in the top right. Unfortunately, I don't have any cards left. Let's go back to this dungeon and see if maybe we can get something else out of our turn here. Magic. Okay, so we got a little bit of magic back. We'll draw some cards on our next turn. That might have seemed a little bit complex, but basically just imagine it like this. You start with, let's say, 6 dice. Wow, she's going to do a peril here, which actually could end up getting her killed. But anyway, perils are basically traps that you have to roll a specific set of, specific permutation of dice to get through. I wouldn't be surprised if this bear ends up attacking me here. You have 6 dice. You have 3 cards. Your cards might have, like, a sword up in the top right. If you burn that card, that guarantees that one of the dice that you roll is going to roll a sword. It's a good thing to try to influence the rolls in your favor. But I did, unfortunately, not have nearly enough offensive firepower to win there. But we got some magic back at the end. We can't automatically see where the AI are if they're in stealth, otherwise we could just click on this and we would know. But anyway, it should be the morning soon. So that's 1 full day in Armello. Things will start to move a lot faster now. I have the highest prestige. I also picked up 1 extra gold because I have 1 settlement. And now I can choose a rule to add to the game because I'm the prestige leader. This is one of the coolest elements that you can kind of influence the game, and every game is different as a result of it. Taxes are due. Everyone pay the king 2 gold. If you can't pay 2 gold, you lose 1 prestige. The king sorcerers will siphon 1 magic from all players. If you can't pay, lose 1 prestige. So they're usually bad things. I have so much gold that I'm going to say taxes are due. So I'm going to lose some gold, but everybody's going to lose some gold or they're going to lose prestige. And if they lose prestige, that makes my life easier because I can more easily stay as the prestige leader. So basically it just inhibits our other units. So every day the King's Guard will take a turn. I didn't get much closer to winning here, but we get to draw some cards. And the cards that we draw is based on our wit stat. So I'm going to pick some items here because items usually use gold. I have a lot of gold. Hot Rot Wine gives -1 health, +1 action points. So we could use that on ourselves or on an enemy. +1 fight, -1 wits until the end of our next turn. Also, all the cards are animated. They look gorgeous, if I do say so myself. Warhammer is equipable. In battle, gives you -1 fight and +2 swords. So we do have kind of like light RPG mechanics. As you can see, this is like a pretty dense game. It's not something, this isn't Monopoly, to put it that way. There's a lot of kind of interlocking strategy that happens here, and it's really interesting to see like 4 people kind of doing their own thing, trying to solve different objectives, but occasionally running into each other along the way. It's hard to keep track of what's going on at first, but again, I hate to abuse this phrase, but once you kind of understand the language of the game, it becomes a lot more interesting, and I'm still just barely getting to that point myself. So I'm going to equip the Warhammer. It cost me 3 gold to equip it, but every fight, I get -1 fight, so that's, I lose 2 dice. Sorry, I lose 1 die, but I gain 2 swords automatically. So basically, I'm trading one of my dice, for a guaranteed 2 attack dice, which is, you know, pretty good if you ask me, if I'm trying to kill enemies. We could also, if we wanted to, do one of these other cards on ourselves. How much health does Sana have? Sana have? Still 4. So if we played Hot Rot Wine, we could take 1 away. It would give her an extra action point. Or we could kill this Bane to try for some extra prestige. But I don't like the idea of being on the mountain. Oh, I already spent my Blizzard card. Never mind. It would take like all of our action points, but maybe we could kill the Bane, and that would give us some extra prestige. Plus, I kind of want to move back in this general direction anyway, because my quest is over here, and there's dungeons and stuff like that. Or I could try to take this settlement, but I think I'm going to try to kill the Bane. They have 4 attack, 3 HP. Now, allow me to take a second here. I promise that we'll start to move faster in just a moment here. I didn't talk too much about burning. You can either keep your cards and cast them as spells, or you can basically discard them to get 1 die that is guaranteed to be the symbol on here. Worm symbol is meaningless. It just means that you get nothing out of your dice if you roll that. Sun guarantees you 1 attack, so I might burn this to guarantee us 1 attack in this fight against the Bane. So we're going to try this out. If it works, if we win here, we'll get 1 prestige, which is the main reason that I'm doing this. It's the motivating factor. So we automatically get 2 swords, they get 1 shield, and we're going to burn our Brazenberry Ale card to get a guaranteed sword. Or, well, it's a sun, which is a sword during the daytime. That kind of stuff is a little complex. Oh, this is pretty good. So we got 5 attack, and they got 2 attacks. So they're going to do 1 damage to me, but I should get the kill here, which will give me 1 prestige. I think. The turns take place simultaneously. Yeah, we killed the Bane. You can see like a nice action log pop up down here. Yeah, so we'll get 1 prestige for that, which should help us stay as the prestige leader. And then I think with my last turn, I'm going to move down here and try to recapture this settlement. I guess I just never captured it in the first place. So that should give me 1 gold if I could hold it. But what I also could have done is just ended my turn on the mountain, which gives you 1 extra shield in combat. But anyway, I guess that's why the Bane had a shield in combat. So we got the kill there, we got some extra prestige. We're a little bit low on HP, but that's okay. At this point, you're probably starting to decide where you want to go with this. Do you want to go for Spirit Stones? Do you want to try to kill the king? Or do you want to try to, well, you can try to do the Rot victory if you're a goddamn genius, or you can just, you know, try to wait out the game and have the highest prestige and try to prevent other people from winning in the meantime. It's cool how there's kind of these, like, weirdly antagonistic goals. They chose to end their turn on a swamp. I will admit, the AI has won a game that I've been a part of, but it was only because Nick was being a freaking douchebag and basically sacrificed both of us so the AI would win. When I've played solo, I've had a really fairly easy time of getting through the AI. I would say that you're probably not going to be, well, I'm going to take some more items. Played a hero for +2 health. I'm going to take 1 spell, +5 magic next time you enter a stone circle. That seems really useful. I will say, let's talk about how I feel about the game, because that's the whole point of the series. Positive stuff. The game looks beautiful as far as I'm concerned. It looks a little bit like Civ, a little bit like Warlock Master of the Arcane, but it's got its own cool kind of like, you know, Redwall style going on for it. Not normally the kind of thing that I'm super, you know, down with, but it works totally fine here. The music is lovely. The cards are beautiful, and there's a lot of strategic depth. I actually like the game that's being played here. It does take a while to figure out what's going on, but once you get it, I actually think it's pretty easy to play. What I don't like right now, it's basically you're just playing like a scrimmage mode, right? There's no like campaign. It is early access. Keep in mind that anything that I'm showing right now is subject to change, can and possibly will change. There's no like scrimmage mode, or sorry, you're basically only doing a scrimmage or single game mode. I would love to see some kind of like campaign But I do hate when board games have a campaign that doesn't represent the actual, like, board game itself, like digital board games. Like, I hope that it would be a campaign that is, like, you playing the game against progressively harder and more interesting AI, basically. I would love some AI settings. I'm not sure if maybe I've just missed that. And beyond that, again, I think this is a little bit of a negative. It's a little inaccessible to show other people. You've got to basically tell them, like, okay, hold up, don't judge it too fast. It's going to seem complex, but just play like one game and then you'll figure it out. I know Nick was, by the end of the game that we were playing, he was starting to get into it. At least that's what he was saying. Also, it's $25. So that's pretty expensive if you want to get a group of 4 people together to play it online, but the online has worked in my experience. So you can take that for what it's worth. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but it's mostly positive. It's the kind of thing you don't really... I don't think you're going to get a ton of mileage out of it single player, even though I'm having a decent time with it. But if you can get people together to play it online, I think you could have a lot of fun with it as long as you all go in with an open mind. I kind of want to go to this peril, which might seem weird, but it'll at least allow me to explain what perils are. Perils are basically just traps that other players set on you in the game, or they set on tiles in the game. So the peril will have some kind of negative thing associated with it if you fail it. The only way to succeed is to roll a specific permutation of dice based on your fight stat. But I'm gonna play this card, which is +5 magic next time you go inside of a stone circle. So that'll cost me 2 magic, and then I'm gonna go inside of this stone circle, and we're gonna try to defeat this peril, which might be a terrible idea, but automatically gave me +5 magic. So if I don't roll a sun, a sword, and a shield, I will end up teleporting to the nearest dungeon. So I don't have really any burn cards that help me out here, so I'm just gonna roll these dice and hope that I get it, but I might not mind going to the nearest dungeon, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, we didn't roll the shield. That means we will teleport to the nearest dungeon, but, oh, that's not the nearest dungeon. Maybe it was a random dungeon. We ended up picking up 4 extra magic as a result of that, and we still have 2 action points left. What's our HP? 3 out of 4. I think that we will go this way to try to get to our quest. So sometimes perils actually can work out in your favor. I'm going to end this turn, and we're going to try to go through this a little bit faster. I want to get through one full game over the course of this episode. Sometimes perils can benefit you. Sometimes you can play perils that seem to have negative impacts, but those impacts will actually help you get towards your goal. Like banishing yourself towards a dungeon might help you get a spirit stone. That spirit stone could be the last one you need to win the game. Or you can get perils that give you extra rot. There is a rot condition that can give you victory. So again, it's going to take me, and by proxy, if you're watching this and haven't played it yourself, a long time to figure out the actual kind of the strategy necessary to accomplish those macro goals that actually give you the win conditions. But it's super cool. I'm glad that there's not just one win condition, so that if somebody starts spiraling out of control, you can't stop them. You're like, well, you know, it's like in Monopoly when Monopoly's basically like arm wrestling. Like once you get somebody over the top, it's just a matter of time before they are able to press that advantage and eventually just steamroll you, right? This is not like that, because as soon as somebody gets you over the top, you can kind of pull out a little shiv and then stab them in the liver a little bit and be like, look, I just won. Anyway, I get to choose again because I'm the prestige leader. No battle between heroes is allowed until dawn. Lose all prestige if you defy the king and attack another hero. Or, oops, the king's sorcerers have opened a portal to the underworm. 3 banes appear this night. I'm going to take peace treaty so that we don't have any combat, because I'm a little bit lower on HP. I mean, we could have combat if we wanted to, but we'd lose all our prestige, which is not something that I'm very interested in. I should also point out, the rule choices that you get if you're the prestige leader are the same on every day. So, like, this day is always those 2 choices. Next day is always the same 2 choices. But it is, you know, the permutations that you get are different depending on who's the leader. But yeah, it's not like they're pulling 2 random cards. Like, it's not even seeded, like, it's set. You're always going to choose between peace treaty and accidentally summon 3 worms. I have a lot of magic right now, so I'm going to pull a spell card. Play a hero, steal 1 card randomly from target's hand. Alright. Again, the animation on those cards looks so good. I don't think that with this card I can actually... Oh, you know what? I can. Let's try to steal a card from someone's hand. It'll cost us 2 magic. That's fine. I'll play it on the bear, because I tried to kill them earlier and it didn't work. Plus 2 body until the end of your next turn. That's actually really useful, although I'm probably not going to be using that to attack anybody. That's still nice. So we'll start with our dungeon here. I'm kind of hoping to pick up a spirit stone. We got some gold. That's okay. And we'll go to our other quest here, which should allow us to pick up some more prestige. Like, we also got the settlement for some extra gold, but anyway. As you walk through the bustling streets where you harvest your grain, you take a look at your wolf and realize you're very plain. You look left and right, the town guards are gone, nowhere to be seen. Oh, we're being pursued by a shadow. Draw your blade and spin around to confront the stalker. Use the wild to lose yourself in a nearby crowd, or enter a nearby tavern and wait for your pursuer to show their face. I'm going to test my fight skill because it's the highest that I have, basically. And we got 1 gold and 1 prestige, which might not be the best possible outcome that we can get there, but hey, 1 gold, 1 prestige. Our prestige is going out of control. Again, when the prestige thing, I almost feel like you should be trying to keep your prestige high and then actively pursuing another goal. They played a card on me, and I was not able to read it in time because I was talking, but I think it gave me -1 HP and -1 action point. And I thought there was some other condition associated with it. Okay, so Amber and Bane have slain one another. The turns take place, like attacking turns take place simultaneously. Oh my god. +1 rot, -1 health. They played the plague on me. So basically I have rot now. Rot is something that I'm still trying to come to terms with, but basically if your rot is above 0, you lose 1 life every morning. So I'm going to have to pay very close attention to things like stone circles, and also my spells, so that hopefully I can actually, you know, keep enough HP to freaking survive. If you die, you lose prestige. Oh, they're going to get teleported, which is awesome because I wanted to go to that dungeon, actually. And it will be the nighttime now. So again, every nighttime the king gets 1 more rot. Every morning the king loses 1 HP, and eventually, you know, at a set turn, I think it's turn 9 or turn 10, he'll die. So we have 2 HP. I don't love that. Our quest is over here. We can't really get to it on this turn. 1, 2... As much as I'd like to go to the dungeon, I think we're just gonna go through the forest here. Oh! Amber's poison gift courses through Thane's veins. So I guess every time I move on this turn, I'm going to take damage. So we should really use, yeah, +2 health on us right now. And I'm going to move to capture the settlement. Yeah, that's a really annoying card. But at least I captured the settlement, and I guess we'll just end our turn there rather than even moving. You know, we're so close to the stone circle. I think we should just move there, take our 1 HP hit. Oh, we died? Why did it... Oh, because we took 2 action points to move up there? Oh my god. So I ended up losing prestige as a result of that. I'm not very happy about that. Again, you know, it's the kind of game you're going to have to play a lot to understand the rules. You've played games like this before, where you're playing with your friends, and you make a move that you think is awesome, and then your friend goes, well, actually, as a result of that move, you took damage, and you go, oh, come on, you're cheating here. But no, they're not. It's just the rules are a little bit complex. Admittedly, I'm not a board or a video game designer, but I would almost like if there was a little bit more reduced complexity in the combat. I'm not totally sure, because basically the way it is right now, the die has like 6 faces. There's the sun, gives you a sword in the daytime. There's the moon, gives you a sword at nighttime. Yes, claim 1 spirit stone from every hero that has one, because I'm not doing very well on the spirit stone front. So the sun, the moon, and the sword are effectively the same depending on what time of day it is. Then there's like a tree. The tree is basically +1 sword, plus you get another dice. So there's 4 things that give you an attack. The worm just gives you nothing unless you become corrupted, which I think is like a rot thing. And, the shield gives you a shield. I would almost prefer if it was just like, I don't know, even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but a lot of people might disagree with me on that. Okay, target loses 2 cards randomly and gets -1 action point. I should have taken an item for gold spending instead, but that's okay. So we still only have 3 HP. What's up with that? Where's our other quest is on like the other side of the map. Do I still get hit every time I move? Oh, you know what? I got -HP because I have a rot, which causes me to lose HP every morning. Good, I don't take damage every time I move anymore. It's a start. I'm gonna move to the Spirit Stone to get myself back to full HP, and then we're pretty much just gonna end our... you know what? I kind of like the idea of using Hot Rot Wine, just to allow myself to get a little further. So we'll spend 1 gold, hurt ourselves, but give ourselves 1 more action point, and then move into the stone circle where I'll get my HP back, and we'll end our turn. So I used a die on that, or I used a card on that one. That might not be the best strategy, all things considered, but it did allow me to move a little further, and I don't know, I guess I'm just going to try to fight people and get some prestige. So Amber got a Spirit Stone, but she did lose a Spirit Stone because of the tax that I put on her, or that I put on everybody. So I am probably going to choose to attack her next turn, because if I go and look at her over here, she has 4 HP. How did she get 4 HP if she's in the swamp? Something don't seem right about that. I'm not saying there's a glitch. She's just doing some kind of subterfuge that I'm not aware of. So they're going to have some combat. I actually like the way the AI combat resolves itself. It happens really quickly. The AI takes their turns extremely quickly. I'm not trying to say this... Oh, man, Mercurio got himself killed there. I'm not trying to say that, you know, this game is better or worse than something like Codename Steam, because obviously they occupy different niches altogether, but I was playing the demo of Codename Steam, and the enemy turns, it's basically like, it's XCOM from the people that made Fire Emblem on 3DS. And admittedly, I've only played the demo, but the AI turns take forever to actually finish, and I appreciate more than ever that in this game, the AI resolves their turns super quickly. So I got Throwing Axe. Play on adjacent hero, cause -2 health instantly. Like I said, I'm going to try to attack this unit. The peace treaty's over, so we might as well spend 2 gold, hurt her, and what's her fight? Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. We'll see her fight in just a second here, I guess. I have 5, she has 4. I have 6 now, and plus, like, the guaranteed 2 of these. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna burn this. This will give me a tree, and again, the tree gives you an automatic extra dice roll, as well as counting as an attack itself. So I want to see what they rolled. They rolled 2 moons, which is 2 attack, 1 defense. So I'm already gonna do 2 damage. All we need to do... Oh, I'm already gonna do 2 damage, so it doesn't really matter what we roll right now. It's gravy. This unit is gonna die. Hopefully we roll at least 1 shield so that we don't take more damage in the process. But we are gonna take some damage in the process. We overkilled them. Cool animations as well. The game looks gorgeous. So again, we take the damage even though we killed them because the turns resolve simultaneously. That will give us +1 prestige. They will lose prestige in the process, and then we take a little bit of damage because we're in the swamp. And we pick up some extra gold, which is okay because I just spent a bunch of gold. +2 body until your next turn. I don't know. I don't think that's that required. But I'm gonna go and recapture this settlement to give me extra gold next turn. And I actually am gonna play it until the end of your next turn. Hopefully that doesn't just like finish right here, because I was worried that, you know, she might come back and try to attack me. No, that's the amount of HP that I need to have. Okay. She is going to come and attack me anyway, so I'm really glad that I played some extra HP on myself. And we'll see if we... I mean, I'm probably not going to get a kill here, but we'll see if I can at least survive. So I need to... Well, let's wait for them to roll so that we can actually talk a little bit more about the combat. Because I imagine that a lot of people watching this are still going like, I don't get it, but I just trust it. So she rolls her remaining 3 dice. She gets 1 extra attack. I can't die. I can kill her if I just roll 2 more swords, which seems very likely. You know, Thane is an offense-focused unit, from what I can tell, and as a result of this, we only got 3 damage done, which is gonna almost kill them, but not quite kill them. So, but how much damage did we take ourselves? We took 3, so we're at 1 HP. She took 3, she's at 1 HP. She might come back in. Alright, we're probably gonna end up killing each other here, so I think she might be a little mad. So we're just gonna wait for it again. There's almost no way with only 4 dice, I should say, that she ends up living through this. Like, as of right now, she already needs to roll 2 shields. So I really doubt that that's going to happen. But we'll wait for her to roll first. So she gets she gets 5 attack and 1 shield. So she's dead for sure. Now, the only question is whether or not I can live. I need to roll at least 5 shields. That's also pretty unlikely. So I imagine I'm going to die here because I only have 1 HP. So we got 1 shield. We got 2 shields. We got a lot of attack, and those are turning into extra die as well. Oh, no, we're gonna die, but we're gonna overkill the shit out of her. Yeah, we got like +5 HP there on the overkill, and we got overkilled by 1. But anyway, I think we both gain and lose prestige as a result of that, so I think we'll break even. Might lose 1 each, though. Maybe it's kind of like, you know, it's meant to be... Yeah, we lost 1 each, so I guess it's meant to be the kind of thing that's like a prisoner's dilemma. You know, if you attack and you win, you gain prestige. If you attack and you lose prestige. If you attack and you both lose prestige, I guess. The game is probably, it's a little bit earlier than half finished in terms of, like, this particular match right here. So this is going to end up being a bit of a longer episode, but I don't want to end the game without it actually, you know, ending the game. Or I don't want to end the video without it actually ending the game, I should say. So we'll talk a little bit more about, you know, who should be interested in this. If you're the kind of person that is instinctively against buying early access stuff, this is probably going to seem like... I mean, I don't want to call it an egregious example, because that's not what I mean. King awards the hero with the lowest prestige a treasure, or all Banes get buffed, basically. I'm going to buff the Banes. It is early. There's not a whole lot of single-player content here, and it's a little bit expensive. There's a lot of reasons not to buy the game right now, but I think there's a lot of reasons to also be interested in it. It plays well, and it works fine, and it's been very stable relative to other early access games. And I don't mean other early access games like, you know, the most notorious examples. We have so much gold that I'm going to take items here, because items typically cost gold. I don't mean the most notorious examples of shit that just doesn't work. I mean, I play a lot of early access stuff, but I'm very selective about it. I try to play stuff that is actually, you know, fun and functional and pretty much, maybe not feature complete, but getting there, like Frozen Cortex, Nuclear Throne, for example. Speedrunner's a little buggy, but this, you know, it ranks up there. It works. And I think that if you got a group of people together that you could totally rely on to get down with this online, it would be fun. It is one of those games where, I'm not going to take any of these. Oh, you know what? We actually have something to equip, so we will equip that. That'll just give us a little bit more defense in these battles. We'll tell you, the party stuff, if you go into a dungeon, sometimes you can get followers that you can put here that basically buff your die, or your dice again. We got healed fully, and then we're just going to go hide in the forest, I think. We haven't made much happen on the past few turns. We've run into some trouble. But, you know, the thing I will say is that there's also no real reason... It feels weird to say this, but there's no real reason to buy in right now if you could just buy in later at the same cost. Like, I don't think it's going to be more expensive later. So maybe, you know, wait, especially considering it is a little bit of a premium game, considering the price point. It's not necessarily cost prohibitive, considering, you know, if you were to play this with a bunch of your friends. I mean, I'm trying to think of how to explain it, basically. It's the kind of game where I wouldn't necessarily want to play it with strangers online. Oh my god, the bear just got completely fucked there. I'm not necessarily interested in the idea of playing it against strangers online, because of the time investment, and if there's any kind of griefing or they deliberately take forever with their turns, that would be frustrating. But, you know, I don't know what the community is like in the game, so I can't necessarily say that with authority. Oh, good. -1 action points, -2 health. He just played on me. But if you can get a group together, I think you could totally get your money's worth right now as well, assuming you can play it online together. Sometimes people take that as me being, like, a little too easy on early access games, but I really don't mean it that way. You know, I've played 15 hours or something, 10 hours at least, of Frozen Cortex in early access, and I still said the same thing about that. I was like, you know, it's probably the kind of thing that not everybody's going to be into, but if you're into it, you're going to like it right now, you know? Oh, shit, I shouldn't have buffed the Banes if I was just going to have to attack them in a second here. Okay, I'm going to burn this one for an extra attack. Oh, it doesn't work at night. That was my mistake. I just wasted a die there, basically. And I only have 2 HP, so I gotta roll some freaking shields here. I'm gonna die. I am definitely gonna die. But I think I got the kill as well. So I should be okay on prestige. Like, I'll gain 1 for killing the Bane. Oh no, the Bane lived because I buffed it by 1. God, I think I buffed it by 1 anyway. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's what I consider to be, like, responsible explanation of what I'm trying to get at. It's the kind of thing that's not for everybody, but if you're interested in it and you can convince, you know, people to play with you, I think you could totally get your money's worth early access or later down the road. I hope that there becomes a little bit more of a robust single-player experience in it, though, because I'm the kind of person who has no friends and likes to play this stuff by myself. So I had a couple of options for equipment here, but I chose to equip the one that gave me 2 swords instead of the one that gave me 1, because I could afford it, because I have a ton of gold right now. 1, 2, 3. This Bane only has 1 HP, so I think I'm going to try to kill this Bane to get some of my prestige back, because I still want to be the prestige leader, and I'm starting to lose that because I'm dying a lot, but, you know, to some extent, it's random chance, you know, it's based on the power of the dice. So we're going to get a lot of extra swords as a result of our equipment. Unfortunately, they are going to get clan affinity for some extra bonus die at night. I'm just going to wait to see how their stuff works out here, because we only need to do 2 damage. So I want to see how many shields they have just so we can, you know, make it a little bit more of a thing. So they're going to do 3 damage to me, 4 attack, -1 defense. I'm going to do 4 damage to them because they have no defense. So they're definitely going to die. The only question now is how many shields I can get to actually make sure that I don't take that much damage in the process. So I'm going to take 2 damage here, which I think is totally fine. And we overkilled the crap out of them. So we hit them for 6, they hit us for 2, and we still have 1 action point remaining, so we'll probably finish our turn in the stone circle that we always end our turn in. And we get 1 extra prestige there, and we'll walk in here to get a little bit of extra HP. Okay, that'll end my turn. As you can see, I mean, this is going to end up being a super long Let's Look At, Teleport. Oh my god, they banished me to the furthest dungeon. It wasn't closest, it was furthest. Alright. That's what my mistake was. I guess they just really did not want to fight. That's okay. The game does move a little quicker once you're not spending all your time explaining things. So, you know, don't take this as thinking that every single game is going to be as long as this one has been. And I will say it's pretty engaging throughout. I almost wish that there was like a little bit, like to ramp up the, oh, I'm going to get attacked here. I almost wish there was a little bit of like a leaderboard to tell you like who has the most prestige, who has the most spirit stones, who is like the tankiest or the highest attack right now. It's Knight. You're going to use some of those. I'm going to burn my steel sword, I guess, because I'm never going to use it because I already have better equipment. But, you know, stuff like that to ramp up the tension a little bit to make it a little easier to follow what's going on. So I'm going to live by 1 because I had 1 shield here, and I just destroyed the shit out of Mercurio. I'm very sorry about that, my rat friend, but you have been struck down. And I can actually use this on my next turn for 2 gold to refill all of my health, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to give me 1 extra prestige, I think, as the defender who won there. And that should give me enough to be the prestige leader. Now, it's looking like this game is probably going... I died because of the rot. I've graciously decided to heal all wounds for a mere 5 gold. Death to those who can't pay. Yes. Who is going to die? I can definitely afford 5 gold. Why can't you? Yep, Mercurio died again. Lovely. That's what he gets for basically cementing my death. I will say as well, the AI does not do a great job. I still have so much gold that we're going to go for items here. When defending in battle, gain 2 swords. Refill health. I could choose to throw away like one of our existing ones. In battle, 1 shield. Or when defending, gain 2 swords. I kind of like when defending, gain 2 swords. So our other card just goes away. That's the cost of it. But anyway, how much HP do you have? 4? You know what? I'm just going to go for this peril. We're going to try it out. The AI doesn't do a good job of showing victories that are not prestige. Every game I've played thus far has been won by prestige. Okay, so we need a sword and a shield and a sun. Does this do anything for us? It just gives us 1 extra dice, so there's no reason to use it. So we got a sun. We're going to have... This is going to be terrible for us. We need to get a sword and a shield. We got a sword? We might get a shield, because that tree means we get a reroll. The tree means we get a reroll. Shield. Shield. Ah, it's a moon, so we're going to get minus 3 HP, and our turn's going to end. That sucks, man, because in the morning, we're definitely going to die. So that was a great trap card played there, but we still get to go to our dungeon, and we pick up some extra gold as a result of it. +1. Not that good, but I really wish that the AI... Oh, you're going to come and attack me now? Come on. I wish the game was a little bit better about... Or the AI was a little bit better about making sure that... you know, the AI was always pursuing other goals, but maybe it's, you know, this is my 4th or 5th game, and it's still possible that maybe I just haven't seen it, you know, maybe I've just gotten lucky to ride out the prestige victories, but it does seem like it almost ends in prestige victory every time. I got no defense here, so, well, on the bright side, it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory for the rabbit. It is going to kill me, but I'm going to kill it as well. This has been a little bit of an atypical game, like a lot of combat relative to what I've seen in the other actual matches here, so we're gonna die, which is gonna cause us to lose prestige. Oh my god. We might not actually be the prestige leader anymore, all because, forgive me, but I feel like I'm being antagonized a little bit. I spend most of my time being the defender, so you know, with only, I don't know, 3 days remaining, somewhere in there, I really don't anticipate that we are going to have someone go into the center and kill the king, but, you know, we're pretty tanky. Maybe we'll try it. Going into the center and killing the king is actually kind of interesting, because each one of the entrances to the kingdom has a really difficult peril associated with it, so you gotta get really lucky with your dice rolls, or have a lot of cards that you can burn in order to make, like, your desired outcome happen, and then afterwards you gotta kill the king. But what's interesting, of course, is that the later the game goes on, the easier it is to kill the king because he has less HP, so I feel like that it becomes more likely that you're going to kill the king as the game goes on, but also, you know, it's a big risk because you don't want to die and lose prestige, and as a result, you know, fuck up your long-term victory. But we'll give it a try anyway here to be interesting, because I think I have a great ability to probably kill the king. I might die in the process. What was this equipable? -1 fight for enemies in battle? That must be +1 fight. Oh, no, sorry, -1 fight for the enemies that I'm fighting. Okay, I get it. That's me being a little silly. So if we're going to get into the King's Palace on the next turn. We pretty much have to end in the forest right here, I think. Or no, we can end on this stone circle, because at night we get 1 extra action point. I forgot. Alright, so we'll end here. And on the next turn, we'll try to kill the king, because I'm not going to be the prestige leader anymore, so I think we kind of got to go for a... kind of got to go for broke. I haven't really... Ooh, they got some kind of treasure, which we can't see. I haven't really shown it off yet, because I haven't been taking spells or traps or anything like that. That's more for... I mean, it depends what consumable you're running high in. If you have a lot of magic, you'd probably place more traps. If you have a lot of gold, I'm picking up a lot of items, which are going to help my attack, which might not be working out that well for me, all things considered. But you can play traps to tiles. You know, that's what creates these flags, these perils that you can see. So you can hide those from the other players, and when they walk on the traps, they'll, you know, have to get a very specific set of dice rolls to make it happen. Public execution, or the king marches to war, king's guards attack on sight. Let's do king's guards attack on sight. Although, truth be told, without any followers, it might have been better for me to just not do that, because I don't have any followers. So I feel like this is still a good idea, because maybe it'll mess with our teammates a little bit more. Kingsguard versus Amber. They both got wounded as a result. And it's actually good, because if our enemies are forced to kill a king's... Oh, no. Okay, fine. If our enemies are forced to kill a king's guardsman, they actually lose prestige in the process. So this guy's only got 2 days left. We're going to try to do this peril. Let's enter the palace. It takes all of our action points. We got to roll 4 very specific things. One of them is a sword. So we will burn this to make sure we roll a... Oh, we actually just can't win. Unless we roll like a ton of trees. And that's not going to happen. Heroes ejected from the palace, unmatched symbols do 1 damage each. So we're going to get pushed back. But then we should get healed because we're on the stone circle. Maybe we don't. I'm going to heal myself for 2 gold. And maybe we'll go in from the other side next time, because I definitely can't get in there now. Pretty much we're just playing the long con now, waiting for the king to die. He's only got 2 more days left in him. Again, I would love to see a finish to the game that didn't involve this. But I have yet to see it. It's always been a prestige victory. I don't know if it needs rebalancing. I hate when, you know, people play a game for like an hour, and then they, oh man, Amber, what are you doing? She died of the peril there. The peril that she herself played. This action log is so useful. I hate when people play a game for like an hour and then they're like, it needs to be rebalanced, you know? These people make the game every day. They know what's going on. They got the data that's going on with respect to all the testing and stuff that they do. And maybe, I don't know, some of the data collected from the game if there is that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm assuming that when you get into more intermediate and advanced level play, those strategies become viable, but I've never seen it happen in a game, and to some extent that makes the games feel samey, like, you're kind of just running out the clock here. I'm not coming out and saying that in its current state, Armello is like, you know, one of the great board games of our time yet, or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, it's fun and engaging right now. In a way, it reminds me a little bit of 100% Orange Juice, but just with a little bit more of a more ambitious kind of art style associated with it. It's not really a move and roll game like 100% Orange Juice is. You know, there's more player agency and strategy, but let's take a spell this time. Steal 1 card randomly from an opponent's hand. Even though we don't have much magic, I'm going to try to play that if there's anybody alive in my range. Can't play it on a King's Guard, can't play it on a Bane, so, I mean, I could steal a card for myself. That doesn't seem like a good idea. 1, 2, and I could go to the dungeon, but I'm going to try to enter the palace here and see if maybe I can beat this peril instead. I've got to roll 4. Oh, it's the same one. Okay. Like, we just don't have enough... I guess we're rolling our wits dice here. Sorry. We don't have enough wits, basically, to reliably do this, so this is not going to work out well for us, I think. Yeah, we rolled 2 proper symbols, so we're going to take 2 damage and get ejected. Dang. Son, where'd you find this? Now that we're over here, can we actually... Oh, we can't steal stuff from players when they're in their spawn point, by the way. Not that I've tried that. Yeah, okay. End turn. So we need to up our wits stat, but the way that we would probably do that is by, I guess, getting some spell cards that maybe give us higher wits until the end of a turn or something like that. You gonna come at me next turn? If you mess with the king, you get the crown. That's all I'm saying. So no one is even close to winning on Spirit Stones, I think. It's really going to come down to a prestige victory, and everybody's pretty much at the same level of prestige. Like, Mercurio has 0. Sana has 0. Amber has 1. So I'm still going to maintain being the prestige leader. And players discard all cards in their hand. I'm gonna take this because I don't want any more of this equipment that I have, and I want to draw some better cards should I live, which is highly debatable or questionable because the Kingsguard is going to attack on sight. What's going on here? Oh, oh no, nobody got slain there. Yeah, like the Kingsguard is probably going to end up attacking me here. Either way, if I survive, I lose prestige. If I die, I lose prestige. So we might as well try to survive, because we're kind of close to a quest anyway. We only have 1 HP, so I'm hoping we roll full shields here, which still wouldn't even guarantee my survival, but... Alright, we got 1 shield, and then a tree, which will reroll into a tree, which will reroll into a tree. So this guy's dead as hell. Which will reroll into a moon, which doesn't help us. So I am definitely dead. We did overkill him, but at the same time, maybe we don't want to overkill him, because that might give us -2 prestige. Well, considering that this is the last day before the king actually dies, this might be terrible. I did get -2 prestige there, so we got to get our prestige back as soon as possible. What is this? Sailor's Lantern, I think, is extra action points. When in battle, gain +2 swords. Recharge +2 magic. Alright, we need prestige. So I'm going to go to this dungeon quickly in the hopes that that'll do that for me. Sailor's Lantern. Oh, gains the scout ability. We'll try to use that at night, I guess. Prestige, prestige, prestige. Nothing. Ew. Okay. I may well end up losing this game, actually, on the last turn. I thought I had a huge prestige advantage, but actually I've been attacked kind of relentlessly by the enemies, so... Oh, she's questing. She gets -2 magic, +2 HP, +2 health, and she draws a follower, which is probably not going to be that big of a deal considering we're basically at the end of the game. Oh, unless she chooses to attack me, but I think she's going to go down in the process here. I need to get this kill because I need prestige, and if possible, I need to make sure that she doesn't get prestige. So I'm going to burn pretty much everything I've got here. Sailor's Lantern will give me an extra attack. Heavy Flail will give me an extra attack. And then we'll just roll the other ones. So she's got to get like at least 3 shields. Oh my god. I am going to be killed. Yep. I'm going to be killed, but she is also going to be killed. Why? The AI is being suicidal this game. The number of, you know, complete Pyrrhic victories where we're basically both just hemorrhaging prestige is terrible. We might actually see a rare situation where everybody has 0 prestige. So actually, you know what? The AI is doing a good thing. Even though it seems like they're dying a lot, they've also slowly eroded my prestige so that I'm no longer the default, you know, choice to win the game. I wonder if the bear will try to get in here and kill the king. It looks like not, which is a shame because I would have loved to have seen it. So we are coming to the tail end here. This is as much, you know, a should I buy Armello or not guide as it is a, you know, just here's me playing a game of Armello. It's the kind of thing, you know, I wouldn't mind playing it more on the Northern Line Live Super Show. I'm not sure when it's actually set to come out, but it's shaping up pretty nicely. Like, if other people got into this game, I think it is a game that, for me, to some extent, will live or die based on whether or not, you know, the people that I like hanging out with, you know, choose to continue to play it. It's much more engaging in multiplayer. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily getting the point across fully here in single player, but if other people that I like playing games with start playing Armello, I would absolutely have no problem with it. Recharge +2 magic. In battle, enemies have -2 fight. Unfortunately, there's like no enemies in range of us. So I gotta go back to the dungeon to try to pick up 1 prestige because the king is gonna die in the morning. He only has 1 HP left. And again, when he dies, whoever has the most prestige wins. We picked up some extra gold. That doesn't really help us much. I don't think there's anything else I can do here, to be honest with you. We just got +2 magic. Alright. Wish me luck here. Again, on top of the single-player mode that you see right here, you've got the exact same mode, but works in online multiplayer as well. And it works. Please tell me Amber does not gain any prestige from killing a Bane and then dying. 0 prestige. Oh, what? She got 1 prestige. I think she's actually going to win. I am displeased. I can't see how much prestige Sana actually has, I think. Oh, maybe I can. Sana has 1 prestige as well. And then Mercurio has 0 prestige. I need Mercurio to, like... I think the bunny has won. I'm so mad about it. Mercurio's gonna kill a Kingsguard, which will cause him to lose a prestige. For reasons unbeknownst to me. Well, I know why he's losing the prestige, I just don't know. I guess he has 0, so he might as well kill the Kingsguard before killing the bear. then this will give him one prestige and take 1 prestige away from Sana. And there you go. We've got the prestige leader now is, unfortunately... I don't know why what the tiebreaker is there, but unfortunately, after leading the game for literally like 8 turns, we lost on the 9th turn. But that's the way that the game works, you know, and that was a relatively representative game of Armello. I hope you enjoyed the episode. There will be a link in the video description below to pick up Armello on Steam Early Access. You know, if the video is too long and you chose not to watch it, here's your cliff notes. Digital board plus strategy plus card game. Cool mechanics, does take a little while to learn, can look a little dense or inaccessible, you know, to someone that you're showing it to. But once you actually get a little bit more familiarity with it, it's really actually fun and engaging and has a decent amount of strategy associated with it as well. Not necessarily a must-buy in its initial state, especially if you're the kind of person that is going to be playing this single player. I don't think there's a whole lot of single player stuff going on for you right now. And that goes for me personally too. You know, I'm probably not going to play too much more of this unless people that I know start picking it up for multiplayer. But it is engaging. I think it's, you know, a successful proof of concept on what they were advertising in the Kickstarter and got successfully funded for. And for an early access game, competent in terms of its ability to work as well, which doesn't always happen. That's basically my cute way of saying the online works, which is a selling point, because there's not that many games that actually occupy this niche on Steam. You know, you got stuff like 100% Orange Juice and, you know, Talisman. I can't think of many more apart from that. But anyway, that's Armello. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.